Hello, good afternoon. This is ShinDo.
And this is Lucifera.
Today's video is titled Christian Theocracy, the Rise of the AntiChrist. As anyone objective can plainly see, the modern-day Christian 21st century version of Christianity has sort of become a throwback to the Middle Ages, and their interest is only to establish themselves as the dominant religion and the ruling power of this world, which in many ways they already are. So we're going to be discussing what this is leading to, their ultimate end, which is establishing an antichrist type system.
Now, when we say Antichrist, we mean anti-Lucifer, anti-light. Now, the Antichrist is a spirit that has been around for a very long time, but we also talk about the beast system, which is the Abrahamic religions, the rise of the beast system, the Antichrist. They're Antichrist towards the light, the Christ nature, the Christ consciousness within us. The Antichrist spirit, its goal is to keep people like us down. The ones who are trying to rise up, they're trying to dumb us down with religion, dogma, and all the garbage you see out there in the world, and to keep us prisoners to them and to their God.
A Facebook friend of ours posted this article about Kim Davis. You remember her? Now, I'm not concerned about this flash in the pan nobody who came and who's now gratefully gone, but is what people like Kim Davis and these Christian fundamentalists and what they represent now, as far as what we are talking about, that is the whole idea of a Christian theocracy. Now, a theocracy is a government ruled by a religion. Many Muslim nations have Sharia law, which is a theocracy. And if you didn't know it, I'm telling you that these types of Christians, the ones that we speak against, which is the ones that when we say you Christians, we are referring to people like Kim Davis and Kim Davis type supporters whose interest is to suppress anyone who doesn't agree with them 100% and who aren't what they call Bible-believing Christians. Here we have an article about Kim Davis and what was found in her email. This is a glimpse into the new American type theocratic, perhaps very dogmatic, self-righteous, quote-unquote Christian that Lucy and I so often speak against. Here we can get a glimpse right here from this article, the kind of Christian that is looking forward to a theocracy, and this theocracy is going to be exactly what it is that they think is, they picture as the Antichrist, the beast system. Folks, that's you. That's what you're doing. That's you Christians. You are the ones who are trying to establish this beast Antichrist system,
Which is a old world order clothed in a new world order.
Title of this article is Christian Fundamentalist Plot Against the Constitution, What Kim Davis' Newly Unearthed Emails Reveal. And just remember, there's not just one, but two Republican candidates that supported Kim Davis, and most of the others didn't speak against her. The Christian fundamentalists today, the kind that we butt heads with so often on YouTube, are looking for anything to create some kind of what they think of as a spiritual war. And their war really is just against common sense. And their war is against people outside of their own church. You should be interested in your own. Reading from this article, this is one of the emails. Typical ideas will give you an idea of the way these so-called Christians think today. This is one of her emails. The battle has just begun. It has truly been a firestorm here. The days are pretty much a blur, but I am confident that God is in control of all this, 2 exclamation points. I desire your prayers. I will need strength that only God can supply, and I need a backbone like a saw log. They are going to try to make a whipping post out of me. I know it, but God is alive and on the throne. He is in control and knows exactly where I am. September 1st will be the day to prepare for. The Lord doesn't return before then. I have weighed the cost, and I will stay the course. As you remember, September was not the rapture, but like so many other Christians, she believed that come September she would be raptured out of here because she's just so wonderful a person. What the Christians are seeing now is that they're losing their control and their power. Now what's going to happen? Well, let me put it in biblical terms for you. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12 and 13. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea. For the devil has come down to you, having great wrath, but he knows he has but a short time. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. The woman is the church, the Holy Spirit, the true church, the Gnostic church, the Gnostic spirit, perhaps. I don't like using their term church. And the dragon that pursues her, that would be your demiurge, what you Christians, Jews, and Muslims simply call God. He's losing control, you're losing control, and it makes you angry and wrathful. So that is what we are witnessing today, which will, as a backlash towards the secular movement, as we discussed earlier in the Pike video, Albert Pike's prediction, which I will put a link here in the description box along with a link to the article I just quoted from. Albert Pike's prediction was that the atheist eventually and the deist type Christians will destroy each other. We see a very strong alternate viewpoints in this coming presidential election. We have a very secular view on the left, the Democrats, and we have many of the candidates on the right who are professing, at least, to be conservative, born-again type Christians. Lately, the polls have shown that this man, Ben Carson, is actually in the lead over Donald Trump. Now, there's no way, I believe, Ben Carson is going to get the nomination, let alone the presidency. And there's a simple reason for that. He's too damn smart to be president. He's a neurosurgeon. The most viable candidate right now, and the one that best suits this kind of end days president who is part of AntiChrist system, is the most idiotic of all the candidates and the one most supported because this country is full of morons. And that is, of course, Mr. Donald Trump. let's not even worry about whether or not Donald Trump's going to become president. Right now, there's no telling, and I'm certainly not going to at this time. I'm not going to make a prediction that Donald Trump is going to become president. Let's not worry about whether or not he's going to become president, because it's scary enough that people in this country actually are going to vote this complete buffoon in as the most powerful man in the world.
It would make sense that this Antichrist spirit would use people like this, because a lot of the world is Abrahamic Christian.
What's so ironic about Trump is he's never really professed himself to be a Christian, but that's just like the kind of Christians that we get that we bump heads with on a regular basis. These kind of people. Trump is a living, breathing human troll.
It is said that this Antichrist spirit or system would deceive a lot of the world. So, and we see what Christianity and Judaism and Islam are actually doing today. They have most of the world.
And Trump here is pandering to the Christians, and the thing is, it doesn't matter whether or not he really believes what he says. The thing is, he is speaking out against the Muslims. In these tiny little Christian brains, in these unbelievable, just vapid, stupid people, they actually believe that somehow the Muslims are taking over this country. Not the atheist, the Muslims. The fact that we are even discussing him as a viable candidate should tell you right here, if you don't believe that this age is ending, you've got another thing coming. And if this man becomes president, and if the election were held tomorrow, I think he would become president. If this man becomes president, it's going to be a very, very dysfunctional presidency. This man has an ego the size of New York City, and no clue what it's like to be someone like you and me. And what gets me is how people like you and me could actually want to vote for somebody who's a billionaire, who has nothing but his own interest at heart, and who's such a conceited asshole.
A lot of the Christians use capitalism with their religion, and that's what's dangerous here. They're so opposite of what the Christ was about.
Absolutely. And this man is such a perfect representation of what Christianity is today. It is scary, scary times in which we live in, regardless of whether this world continues in this manner. It really, if you've got any common sense, you can see that the world cannot continue in this manner. So that these end days are coming, Christians, but you're the ones who are bringing it. And you're the ones who are going to enforce this Antichrist system.
Another thing I find interesting is, with this beast system, Christians will use this to persecute people, kill people. The Antichrist system would do that. Even if you read in the Bible, you'll see that. But you see Christians going around saying, if you do not accept Jesus, you will burn. So this Antichrist system and the Christian religion is one and the same. They want to enforce their religion on you. They want to overpower you.
They want a Christian theocracy. So thank you very much. This is ShinDo.
And this is Lucifera.
Have a glorious Tuesday afternoon. Goodbye.